Hello everybody, I am back. It has been a long time, but I have some exciting news that I wanted to share, and I figured that it was the perfect opportunity and time to sort of kickstart and reignite my YouTube channel. So if you are new here, hello, my name is Steph, aka the Ranting Mum, and my usual content is grocery hauls, day in the life sort of vlog. Occasionally I do product reviews and just general life chit chat and that kind of thing. I used to post quite a bit, especially when I had just had my first son, who is now 7, would you believe? And my youngest, who is now nearly 5. It has been a really long time since I have had the energy, time, discipline, motivation, all of that to post a YouTube video, but I have definitely missed doing it and exploring my creative side. And I thought, what better time to get stuck back into it than an exciting announcement that I have booked a Disney World trip for our family to go next year. And I just wanted to take you all along for the journey with me if you are interested on all of the Disney magic and everything else that we plan to do for our first trip there as a family of 4. If you don't know me, my name is Steph, aka the Ranting Mum. I have been posting quite actively over on TikTok, but have not had the time to do some of these more longer style videos. So I thought, what better opportunity than now to get back into it and share with you the journey, the magic, the triumphs, the tribulations of planning a really large scale trip to the other side of the world in a cost of living crisis. Because if you have been following me, you'll know that a lot of my content is centered on being pretty budget friendly, and that is still the case. So if you are looking at planning a budget trip to America or to Disney World, or if you want any tips and tricks on that, then follow along, because we are doing this trip on a budget. We are saving up for it. We have got about, I think 17, 18 months before we go. And I am doing so many different bits and pieces to make this trip really, really affordable for our family, because we are not the type of family who takes regular overseas holidays. And we're also not the type of family who can afford to do that every year. So this is a big once in a lifetime kind of trip that we want to do while our children are young, and then we probably won't do another trip again for quite some time. So if you are interested in budget holiday planning, if you would like to follow along as I navigate how to make it affordable for us as a family of 4 in a cost of living crisis, that is kind of what I started this channel for. Yeah, I just thought that now was the perfect time to get back in and start sharing some of my trip plans, or our trip plans. They're my trip plans because I'm planning the trip. My husband is not interested. He'll only be interested when we get there and say, well, why did we do this? And I'll say, well, I asked you and you didn't want to have any input, so you don't get to have a say now, okay? Yes, that's the kind of dynamics. But I did actually share some stuff with him this morning. He was like, yeah, that looks good, just go with that. I'm like, okay. Life has been really busy, things shifted, I took a step back, but I do really miss sharing with you. So please let me know in the comments if you have any ideas of what you did miss and what you'd like to see more of. But I'm definitely going to be planning to share a lot of the Disney World and greater trip plans with you, and I'm definitely planning to take you along with me as I do my grocery hauls and videos again as much as I can in my busy life. I'm going to try and post at least once a week. We'll see how we go. We're going to Disney, and why now? So basically what happened was I had a couple of sick days a few weeks ago, and I had been busy kind of trying to think about planning either a trip to like Malaysia or Thailand or Japan. And I knew deep down that I really wanted to go to Disney World, and I wanted to take my kids there while they were young. I wanted to take them there where they were able to appreciate the magic, but they could still go on most of the rides. And without being stereotypical, I have 2 very busy, active boys who are all about Nerf and I don't know, Avengers and Minecraft and all that kind of stuff. And they do like Disney and they love rides, but you know, are they like me who grew up being obsessed with The Little Mermaid and Beauty and the Beast? Not as much. I decided to book Disney World because it wasn't going to cost a great deal more than the Japan trip, which I was leaning towards out of the bunch of them. And it was the trip that had my heart. And I went to the States when I was 22 in 2011 and had the best time ever. It's still the best trip that I have ever done. I have since done a few cruises with my husband. I've done a couple of cruises with our kids, or one with our eldest, and then my youngest came on one that we went on in January in 2024 with Royal Caribbean, which was great. And I was looking at doing another one of those with my family, and yeah, I just thought, you know what, I've done 5 South Pacific cruises, I'm very lucky, but I wanted to do something different. Just want to preface this by saying that we are not the kind of family that gets to take overseas trips every year. We're not the kind of family that goes on family holidays every year. If we're lucky, we might do a night or two in the city or go to a caravan park for a couple of nights, but we are not in a position where we can take holidays all the time. We don't go on family holidays every year. I was the sort of person who wished upon a star and wanted to go to Disney, and when I saw the fireworks over the castle, I cried. Like, that is very much a special memory for me. And I remember thinking, I can't wait to go here with my family one day, and I can't wait to take my husband here. He wasn't my husband at the time. And he is a massive, massive, massive Star Wars fan. So we are definitely going to be booking in the build the lightsaber, all that kind of stuff. And I know that we're going to try and do Universal as well. Really excited that Epic Universe has just opened up, and I'm hoping by the time we go, which is about 18 months away, that all the kinks and things will be worked out. My only reservation is that my youngest won't quite be able to ride everything, but I did check and he'll be able to ride most things. So I feel like it's a really good time. It's a good window that they'll be 6.5 and almost 9. Lots of time for us to save, lots of time for us to budget, lots of time for us to accumulate Qantas points, which is definitely going to be the big part of hopefully covering off the bulk of our flights. So I am frantically navigating my way through this. I only signed up about 2.5 weeks ago to Qantas frequent flyers. I should have been doing it for a long time. Feel like I want to document this entire process. So even if nobody's watches this, even if you make this off, thank you so much. But if you're not watching this, I really want to document it for myself and share the entire planning process for myself to keep track of it all, but also to get tips and tricks from people who have been there, done that, and also to provide any insight or any advice to those of you who are contemplating also going to America when the dollar for us is not very favorable. I'll put down what it currently is, but I'm pretty sure it's around somewhere between 62 and 65 cents on a daily, like depending on fluctuations. What have we got planned so far? I'm hoping to book the flights through the Qantas Classic Rewards. We're going to clock them in the next 9 to 12 months so that I can book the flights early. We also then have 10 nights booked at the Port Orleans Riverside Resort, which is a moderate Disney resort. If you don't know a lot about Disney, or if you've always wondered about Disney, they basically have 3 resort categories. They have a value resort category, they have a moderate resort category, and they have a deluxe resort category. The value are the 3 all-star resorts. There's all-star sports, all-star movies, and all-star music. And then they also have Pop Century and Art of Animation. Those 2 are on the Skyliner. Pop Century, in my opinion, seems to be a bit more better value. We did nearly book Pop Century. And then there's moderate resorts. So I think there's 5 of those. I think there's Coronado Springs, Caribbean Beach, Port Orleans Riverside, Port Orleans French Quarter, and there's another one that I can't remember off the top of my head. So we booked Port Orleans Riverside over the Pop Century Resort, and I'm still contemplating whether that was the right choice, mainly because the resort itself has a really large grounds, which some people complain about, but for me, knowing my husband and knowing my family and knowing that in amongst the chaos of Disney World, we are going to want to go back and have a midday break. We're going to want to have a resort day or 2 just to decompress and to spend some time by the pool and to wander around and like catch the ferry to Disney Springs and that kind of thing. The Port Orleans Riverside Resort really ticked those boxes. I definitely wish that it was on the Skyliner, because obviously I've heard that the bus transport to the parks can sometimes take a little while. But the other reason that I booked towards that is it wasn't a great deal more expensive, but we got the full quick service meal plan included with the package that we booked through a UK site called Attraction Tickets, who I've read a lot about and was reminded of its existence when I reached out to Rachel, who is one of the brains behind the YouTube channel One of a Dozen, who I've followed for many, many years. If you do plan, or you are planning on going to Disney World, head there, because they've just got some really great tips, especially if you have a big family. Like I don't, but she has a really large family and they are able to make it work on a budget. And that is kind of what I am doing. So we were able to book 10 nights at the Port Orleans Riverside Resort with a 14-day park hopper ticket that was allowing us to go to the 4 main parks, so Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios, and Animal Kingdom, as well as one of the water parks that is open. I believe it's probably looking like it'll be Blizzard Beach. And then we also get the Memory Maker photo pass, the quick service dining plan, which entitles us to 2 quick service meals. So they are the typical theme park kind of meals while you're in the parks, but each of the resorts plus Disney Springs is also included. And so you get kind of more of a fast casual. From what I can tell from the menus, it'd be the equivalent of eating at places like grilled, Guzman, Schnitz, you know, kind of that kind of sit down, fast casual kind of food options that we have in Australia. So sort of a step above your McDonald's, but kind of not as nice as like your sit down meals. The sit down meals at Disney are very pricey. We might look at doing 1 or 2 of those if the budget permits, and if I don't know if I want to schedule that in, but I also like the flexibility of the quick service plan. So you get the 2 quick service meals, you get a snack credit, and then you also get a resort refillable mug that you can use at your resort, but any of the other Disney resorts if you visit any of those. And the quick service meals also include beverage. So for adults, that can include both alcoholic and non-alcoholic beverages. You get 1 of those with your meal. So you could order like, you know, tacos with a side of beans and rice and then get a margarita. And then there's kids meals included as well. And that was included in the package. So the whole package for the 10 nights accommodation at Port Orleans Riverside, the 10 nights of the quick service dining plan, or the 10 days, sorry, plus the 14-day park hopper and the memory maker was around $10,500 Australian at the time of booking. So I did book it in, you had to book it so far in advance. You can book through the Australian site, but this one gave us the free meal plan plus the 10% discount. Was much better value. But that means we are subject to the fluctuation of the Aussie dollar against the pound. So I'm aware that the cost might go up or down a couple of $100 here and there between when I pay the trip off. So my plan is that because we booked so far in advance, all you have to do, or all I chose to do, was put down a £50 deposit. Was about $100 Australian, which is fully flexible. It's not refundable, but if for some reason we need to change our plans, as long as the dates are available, we can switch. I've heard great things. They have fabulous reviews, and we've got plenty of time. We don't have to pay it off, I think, until the 26th of October or something next year. Like, we've got a long time to pay it off. So the plan is to pay it off. I think it works out to be, if we start paying it now every week, it's about $170 a week. So just to give you an idea of a budget, like whether it be affordable for your family, it's going to cost us around $170 a week for that first portion, and then hoping to get predominantly free flights minus the taxes to at least LA. In a dream world, I'm hoping we can do to Fort Worth, Dallas Fort Worth, and then on to Orlando included, because that's the best value points, but we're gonna have to save a lot of points to be able to do that. So that's just gonna be dependent. And yeah, then we will hopefully also do another week to 10 days in the Orlando area. I am currently looking at staying at the Club Wyndham Bonnet Creek. I'm looking at Airbnbs there. They have some fully serviced, like they're apartments essentially. So we could, you know, go out, get our own groceries, eat at the apartment, pack lunches. And then from there, we're planning to do probably a day trip to the Kennedy Space Center. We'll probably try and go to Gatorland. We will probably do a few days at Universal, depending. I don't know if we'll do all 4. We might. It's just budget permitting, because that's one thing I have noticed since I went to America in 2011. Not only is the dollar not favorable, but the actual cost of the theme parks has skyrocketed. Now it is very, very expensive. The bulk of the money, so why would I not say, you know, if I'm on a budget, why would I not stay at the Club Wyndham the whole time? Because that's very affordable. So currently, I can't book it at the moment, but currently Club Wyndham for 10 nights, I'm looking at around $1,300 Australian for 10 nights in a 3-bedroom self-contained apartment, which, you know, is crazy to me. That's so cheap. $130 a night is wild. That's in Australian dollars too. Why am I not staying there the whole time? Because I looked at it, and the actual cost of the park tickets, if we were to do a 10-day park hopper or even a 14-day, is nearly $5,000 for our family of 4. And that is before lightning lanes. That is before any spending money. And so it just made sense for me to package up the accommodation, the flexibility of being on site, the meals, and just to have that ease of getting into the whole flow of it, especially given that aside from our honeymoon to Hawaii and a couple of cruises, my husband hasn't traveled internationally, and he is not somebody who is like me. Like, I'd be quite happy to go to a new location every 2, 3, 4, 5 nights. He is somebody who likes to stay put in one place. And I also like that obviously could pay it off and all that kind of stuff. So that's the main reason behind booking with a Disney resort. And I also just liked being on site, having my transportation sorted. There were lots of pros to that. Beyond that, we might also try and get down to Miami. I said to my husband that maybe we will hire a car and he can drive, and we'll do the Everglades. I'd love to do the Everglades and do like a, what are they called? The airboats, the airboat tours through like the swamps and all that kind of stuff. That really appeals to me, probably also as a fan of Dexter back in the day. And then I've been to Miami before, but he really wants to go to Hallover Inlet, which is sort of just up from Miami Beach. And there's lots of TikTok, well, he doesn't have TikTok, but there's lots of videos on Instagram and on YouTube of people in speedboats going to Hallover Inlet. So he's very keen to go and check that out. So that's probably what it's going to look like. If we fly into LA, we'll probably do a night or two in Santa Monica. If we're Dallas Fort Worth, we might do a night or two there as well before we go on to Orlando. So I'm just leaving things a little bit open at the beginning of our trip because I want to be as flexible as possible with our flight. If we have to fly direct and we have to do connecting flight to connecting flight to connecting flight, it's going to suck for my husband because he does not enjoy that whole experience, but I'm fine with it, and hopefully my kids will be okay as well. That is our life update. That is the main sort of thing that's happening. I think I mentioned at the beginning of the video that I am working now full-time again, and I am in a leadership role at a school, which I'm really enjoying. It's very, very busy, but I really like it. I head up teaching and learning there. So yeah, that is the biggest life update. Other than that, just keeping things going in our new house. And that's me. I would love to know what you would like to see more of on my channel as I reignite it and kickstart it. I will definitely share with you all of the planning tips if you'd like to know about how to plan Disney on a budget, or if you want any tips about how I navigated booking, or what I do to kind of like, I guess, what I look for when I'm figuring out how to book a place. Grocery hauls, vlogs. I've just signed up to Costco. I've done a couple of trips there, so I'll be sure to take you along when I do go back to Costco because I love Costco hauls. But any other content that you would love to see, please let me know in a comment, say hello again, and hopefully I haven't bored you too much, and really looking forward to getting stuck back into making videos for you all. And until next time, see you later. Bye.